This is the weekend special.
Getting straight into it, to welcome the specialist. Her name is Sai. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm alright. I actually wasn't sure if you're speaking to me directly, so I wanted you to be like, it's Sai. I'm like, okay, hi.
Yeah. I see you, man. But Sai, please, the name Sai.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Igama lam nguSinesipho ne.
Okay.
So it comes from SI, right? And I used to go by Miss Jones back in the day because I started DJing around 2012. So they used to call Miss Jones in the Eastern Cape. So when I moved to Joburg, I realized there's like 3 other Miss Joneses. Yeah. So it was going to be kind of a branding clash situation over there, whereby go Miss Jones. You're like, which one is this one now? Yeah. So now a friend of mine suggested that let's just use your first 2 letters, the first 2 letters of your name. Call you Sai. That's cool. You can either be Sai or Miss Jones. And then let's marry the 2 and let's become Sai Jones. Yeah.
But where does the Jones come? Is your surname Jones?
Flip. Hell no.
You never know.
Why did you just
I
adopt the
didn't go
Jones?
into that story. That's a totally different story.
Because now that we know we fetch in the land, are you going to change Jones?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know,
Landela, guys, don't
we
worry.
go to fetch the land.
Landela.
You might not qualify on the list of the land occupiers.
So this name, like I said, it comes from Miss Jones. They married together. When I was in high school, actually, a couple of my friends told me that they had watched a movie where there was a character called Jones, and that character reminded them of me, and from then I was called Jones.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So they called you John.
Yes.
And you just accepted it.
I did, because you can't reject it. It was a matter of every time you hang out, yo, Jones. I'm just like, okay, guys, Jones, tell me about this. Every single time when they Facebooked me, when we met up, it was just Jones. I was Jones, basically. I stopped being Sinesipho and I became Jones.
Did you ever get to watch the movie though?
I did not. That's a very good question. No one's asked me that before.
Why haven't you made a
Asked me that
plan?
before, because I don't know. I think I wasn't interested enough to go look it up. I mean, I can imagine how many movies there are out there for me to go and try to think which one there was a character named Jones.
You could have asked for the movie name.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't interested.
But anyway, getting into the music now, like from getting the nickname now to the music, how did that happen?
Sure. Wow. I went to Rhodes University, I studied a BSc Law. I'm a BSc Law graduate.
Yeah, you see, now we're gonna send you to go fetch the land.
Yes, I have the credentials. Now you can.
Yeah.
So, what happened was, as soon as I registered for my first year, there was this organization called RMR, which was Rhodes Music Radio. So they offered training on various skills such as on-air presenting, content production, CDJ, skills. And at the time, I had just signed up just so I can be an on-air presenter. So when that happened, while I was there, actually, I remember a DJ friend of mine. I used to be in love with how he plays music. And I just remember also because I had a specialist show called Mix Lab 4 Beats.
You had that, she had a special.
Right?
Come on.
It was called Mix Lab 4 Beats. And I remember when I decided, Uguti, I want to become a DJ, was when I decided that no one is playing music the way I want to play music, or I want to hear music played.
Yeah.
So let me go on ahead, learn this thing, and play music the way I want to hear music played. And from there, the road escalated. I started playing at the local clubs back then in Grahamstown, in the Eastern Cape. And someone suggested move to Joburg. I moved to Joburg. And now clubs in Joburg, events all around it. That's basically the gist of the story, I guess.
So when you say that there's a certain way music wasn't played and you want to play it like that, what is that way?
Jongane, back then, I think it was, I didn't know that I didn't know where I wanted to see myself with the music. I was just saying that because I felt like there was something lacking. There was that thing that you feel like they're not doing. There was just that thing. I wasn't satisfied with what I was hearing in the clubs and the streets. I wasn't satisfied. So I think that lack of satisfaction just made me want to input, and eventually I also now kind of learned my own technique when it comes to being a DJ. It's actually, I usually tell some other interviews when they ask me such a thing, I usually go, it's only, let me say, 2.5 years ago where I considered myself a DJ, simply because it's when I discovered my technique, the technique that I can apply. That's the time when I can safely say, yo, you are a DJ, girl. You are a good DJ, actually.
Yes.
So that's, yeah, man, that's it.
Okay, so we're gonna take a little short break and we come back and chop it up some more. It is the weekend special right here at Massiv Metro. Just in case you just joined us, we're hanging out with our specialist, Sai.
So, quick one.
Yes.
How did you go about deciding which genre of music you're actually going to play?
Yo, I was literally obsessed with house music. Like obsessed. Plus, it didn't make it very hard for me because I also, the specialist show I did was a house music show. So I was that girl literally when umculo house music, the first songs actually that popped in, literally like Zazqalakum. So I was literally obsessed with house music. That's actually a very interesting question because some people ask me, are you affiliated with hip hop here and there? And I usually go, because I don't know, sometimes I think I look trippy and then I look like I'm a hip hop DJ. I don't know. So they
could be the tad.
So I sometimes tell them that, look, I'm very versatile, but I don't want to touch hip hop music just because, don't eat me, please, South Africa, but I don't find it as interesting as house music.
Be careful, Black Twitter's
I
chiming for you right
know,
now.
right?
They are chiming.
I know, right? And I've got friends who are in hip hop, like a lot of friends, but they know my views. I'm a musical person. Music is my life. I don't, cancel the one from the other. I usually actually play a lot of hip hop acapellas on my sets, a lot, because it gets the crowd going. It's very provocative.
And then how do you feel about the hip hop songs that get remixed to house music? Do you feel like they should just leave them as they are, or do you feel like it opens up for you as a DJ to be versatile and play house music and with a little bit of hip hop?
I think with that, there are very good like hits, like you hit the home run with the remake, and then there are very good ones where you feel like you hit the home run with the remake, but then there are ones where you feel like Nkosi yami kwenzeke ntoni lapha. But generally, I think remakes are not a bad idea, because like you said, it does kind of open things up for house music. But also I just feel like house music in the sense should not, in fact music in general should not be that limited to the point where we go, we can't remake the song into an Afrobeat song, for instance, or a hip-hop song or a house song. I mean, we can try and cross those lines. I mean, in South Africa, we are that country. The one thing that I think a lot of people don't know and don't appreciate about South Africa is how musical we are. We are the most versatile in terms of music. We created something called deep tech, guys. If you go to Europe, they don't know what deep tech is. They're not deep house or tech house, but deep tech is something that we literally birthed and we literally commercialized. So that's something that like South Africa is great on, and I do appreciate the remakes that they make. There are some really bad ones though, I won't even lie to you.
Real talk.
Yeah. So in terms of your family life, what did the family say when you decided to be a DJ? Ute no mama.
I think at first, she was very supportive, actually, because moms, they have a weird way of not being explicit, but like of saying something without actually saying something. So my mother was a bit supportive, if I can say. She tried to be as supportive as she can. The only thing that she was worried about is the money. She was very worried about the income. How mntana mawuzulamba na mntana mindoza sebusuku, also just being out at night. I'm a female and we know that streets aren't safe for women at night. So those are the main concerns that she still raises even now, and I think she'll continue to raise them as in the future still, because she's my mother. Otherwise it wasn't that much of a big, it was, but yeah, I guess that's the story behind it. Yokuba, she has to live with it because I chose the passion that I did. I left an entire degree and did nothing with it and decided I wanted to become a DJ.
Well, at least you still got something, on the side that you can work with.
Exactly. And I think she also trusted me because she knew I'm not stupid, actually. I'm very smart. That's the problem also. So I think she trusted that, you know what, my daughter is not going to go and be poor. Because I always told her when I was younger, Mama, the one thing I don't want to be is poor.
Yeah.
Yes, I always told her, I don't want to be poor. I want to be rich. And however I make that richdom, I am going to work hard to make that richdom.
So how do you make sure that you get paid on these gigs with your richdom?
Hey, this richdom, guys, this richdom is a process, a very long one.
Yeah,
it's a process. It's a very long one. I'm not there yet, but when you plan, planning is very good. I support planning. You plan your year, you plan your months. You know, you strategize and say yes and no to some things, you know, that are not aligned with you. Say yes to things that are aligned with you, as long as it fits to the ultimate goal of yours. Richdom is not easy, guys. There are people who are still speaking about richdom who are so big and haven't acquired it.
Yeah.
So it's very hard.
Richdom, I easy.
I easy richdom, guys. I easy.
I want to be dumb.
I want to be
rich.
Yeah.
So Sai, when you came through,
yes,
on the weekend special,
this feels so fishy right now.
We got what we call
just changed.
We have what we call the 5 fingers of death. You chose 5 numbers.
Yeah.
Out of those 5 numbers, you chose 5 numbers between 1 and 10.
Yes, I did.
We're going to ask you those quick questions. Please answer each and every single question in less than 5 seconds and be honest.
Okay.
It's for the weekend special. It's the 5 fingers of death, and we've got Massiv, who's going to do the things.
I just got so nervous.
Let's go.
Oh, this is my jam.
Wow, I feel like I'm about to be buried 6 feet under, literally.
This is a jam. All right. I'm going to start you up very light because you picked weak numbers. Who do you look up to as a DJ?
They don't have to be a DJ, right? Because I honestly look up to my mother. And that's even very genuine just because she's very strong, single parent. She raised us as a single parent.
And no one else in the industry?
Who? In the industry, I look up to some EDM DJs. David Guetta, for instance, Martin Garrix, Tiesto. Who guys? Actually, Tiesto. Those guys. Those are the guys I look up to.
Fantastic. So, what is your worst behavior at home?
What is my worst behavior?
Ziningaku.
I'm what?
Maybe I'll try to bad.
No, wait, my friend is here. I actually don't. What is my worst habit?
Sometimes.
I'm lazy sometimes. I think that might be my worst habit, actually. I can spend a day chilling and doing nothing and in front of the TV.
Okay, babe. What turns you on?
Music. Typical, right? Music, fashion, cars.
So you've been on the whole time?
Yes, actually. You are not okay.
No, he's not. See?
Wow. I'm about to play something for you.
All right. 4th question. Whose responsibility is it to buy morning after pills? You or the guy?
Ging, 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 ging.
I believe that it's both parties' responsibility to buy the morning after pill.
Number Nitu.
Yeah,
who's paying?
You must go together.
Who's paying?
Lone man.
No.
The usual is not your party.
No, man. But I think the male party must be the paying party.
Yeah, Udrikinyana. And your last question, you need to name and shame this person, whether it's their Twitter handle or their Instagram handle or whatever it is. If you were to get your sex back from anybody, who would you go collect it from?
This is such an awkward question for me. You know why?
You're a virgin.
This is very odd for me. I'll tell you why. Because there's only one person who has the sex of this human and I cannot take their sex back. That's the thing, because they are still existing in my life.
So you're still seeing the same damn guy?
Yes.
I can't worry them guys.
Why are you naked?
What is experience? Or maybe For sure, I'm gonna because she can't compare it to anything.
And it's fine, yes.
Thank you.
Competition, this thing.
Thank you so much for coming through, girl. Where do people get a hold of you if they wanna play you some music on social media?
Firstly, I'd like to thank you guys for having me. This was very fun, especially that last part. Can we delete that?
That's the only part we'll send you.
Oh my goodness.
That's the only part we'll send you.
My goodness.
You must make him listen to it so he knows.
Woo, tricky. I feel like
gonna feel extra special.
I'm burning right now. So you can find me on Twitter at Psy_JonesZA and also on Instagram, Facebook Psy_Jones as well. And if you wanna get my bookings, it's bookings at psyjones.co.za. So you can send any questions and queries or anything me related. You can go ahead and do it through that email, bookings at psyjones.co.za.
Nice one, Si. Thank you very much for coming through. You have been inducted into the Weekend Special family. Anything new, anything you want to do, anything you want to share, you can always come back right here.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are too much fun, actually.
This is the Weekend Special.